Good evening. It is Friday, June the 3rd, 2022, and a little Expo Impromptu live. Not as bad as the last one. 45-minute earlier start time than last time. Last time was past midnight, so we got done before that. Evening, Eric. How are you?
Miserable.
I know, right? I know. But I will say one thing that will make you happy. I have already in the process of liberating not one, not two, but three BGS cards from their prisons.
Good.
Thrice.
Did you,
Thrice.
you throw them in a wood chipper?
That's pretty much Brad's job.
Okay.
He's the one taking care of liberating, and then it's going elsewhere. So let me grab a couple of comments here. So I don't have the two screens, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight from the StreamYard. I'll pull your comments straight from there. So Bob has got the little emoticon. Love it. Good evening, Bob. Good evening, Jet Baz. Here's Sharp Source Memorabilia. Good evening. Have you met the great curator? I have not. I have seen the great curator. I've seen him around a little bit. I was by his booth a little bit, walking around. So I have seen him. I haven't chatted with him at all. I might chat with him briefly just to see, but I definitely saw his table. So I was definitely by there. I tried to make it as much of the show. Saturday, I'm going to try to make the second half of the show. I tried to go up the first segment. Thursday was kind of just chat with some folks I know and then try to make it. But we've had some interesting conversations, had some fun. So what's up, Baz? Absolutely, Baz. Global Squisher Investor, good day, absolutely. Why is Eric glowering? Why isn't he glowering? Come on, it's important. Jeff here, good evening. And Name, good evening. Now, Name, I know usually got your general excuses. I know you got a bunch of them. But listen, if you are around and want to pop on even for a little bit, this is a shorter live stream anyway.
No, I
Guarantee
don't
it's going to
want
be
to talk
shorter.
to him. No, he's stupid. I don't want to
But
talk.
I think you should talk to him.
No, I
Listen,
don't want. No,
listen.
no.
I already talked to Tim. I'm going to have Tim back at some point with his little
No.
ridiculous hat.
Tim's stupid too.
No,
And
no,
I
but
don't
but
want
but
Tim
Tim
talk.
Tim in his stupid hat is going to have a moment. He's gonna have some words with you. We're
Did
gonna
you
have
see?
have you on.
Do you see his hat on his hat?
I was there, and I actually had him disassemble the hat because I wanted to know what was inside the goddamn hat. I needed to know. People got to know because here, Eric, just so you know, Tim and the Show Your Slabs is directly
Oh,
across the aisle from Steve. So I
okay.
took the picture from Steve's
Yeah,
booth to
I
Tim.
saw the picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
he
So
was
that's
he was working hard.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was able to do it without leaving my seat at the booth. I was just sitting and chilling. I was able
Yeah,
to take a picture of Tim right across.
yeah. Tim and Corey is splitting the booth over there, and
That is
Tim's
right.
not walking around as much like he's done in the past. He's kind of trying to stay a little more stationary and have people come to him
Yeah,
to and get walker buys and stuff to come over
I
and
think
see the product. So
I don't think it's a bad idea because here's the thing: I saw people were by the area that Steve's at. That particular aisle was very busy. Like he was puttering around back and forth through his booth and through the different tables. Lots of at least while I was around, lots of activity. So was the floating head floating? I didn't see him. So Eric and I were talking briefly beforehand. I did not see him. Not that I personally would miss him. However, that said, I'm surprised. I didn't see him at all. I haven't seen him around. CC, good evening. Absolutely. Now I know you mentioned earlier I was around and about here and there. I did briefly for maybe about an hour and a half. I was at the food court, holding court, and I was actually chatting with Josh Packnam, who is sometimes in the chat also and then comments as well. So I have had the chance to talk to a few folks. So that's kind of been fun. So let's go here. Here to be insulted by Eric, deservedly so, absolutely. I'm shocked people fly to Dallas for card shows, but not Toronto. Canadians do fly to Toronto; they will come for that, but no, it's one of those things. Oh, and also I mentioned to Eric, it's like, yeah, Carvin has been around. I did get a chance to chat with him briefly. So today was a better day for chatting with some folks because we had more time, obviously, and I was able to find and talk to some folks. So I'll mention a little bit of that, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So Friedman, what's the biggest rumor you have heard so far for floating around the show? Biggest rumor? Haven't really heard too much, to be honest. Mind you, I've been mostly focused on the folks I've been talking to. We've been mostly talking some hobby stuff or just catching up or whatever the case may be. I will say this: one of the things that I was kind of curious about, the Revolution, the WWE Revolution product has made the tables. I don't know if it was there Thursday, but I definitely saw it today. Today is technically the release date, so it was on the tables available. So I'll be very curious to see. I'm not sure if it was there on the first day, but it's definitely there today. I saw it. Good evening, Paul. Absolutely. Andy, good evening. Hopefully, the Expo's treating you well. Good so far. Good so far. I'll give you guys a couple of little stories here just to fill in some of the gaps, but it's been
enough,
good.
enough. Enough with all this. I hope the expo's good, and I hope you're having a good time. And why is Eric grumpy? You all can go screw. All right. I have so much
Yourselves? I assume you met
Yeah,
yourselves.
y'all screw yourselves. All right.
Okay.
I have so much FOMO that that I'm sitting here in Massachusetts with my hip still in recovery, and I'm not up there where I should be. And to hear all this happy-go-lucky BS just burns my ass. Ah,
Yep. How's the show in scope and size compared to the mid 90s? Oh, compared to the mid 90s, is a different beast. Mid 90s was pretty happening. There was a lot going on at that time. It's been good, though. I will say today, definitely activity picked up as expected. Friday is going to be better than Thursday. We know that. I'm not sure how to gauge it yet because the configuration of it is that we had more space. We had a lot more room to work with. I will say this, and there was one booth, and I'm probably going to try to go back tomorrow. There was one booth that was one of the more bizarre ones because there's an area of like regular kind of standardish tables. There was like a newer area for newer dealers. One of them had the junkiest of junk wax. The junkiest, like super junk waxy. The whole booth was like weird, random junk wax. But like none of it was organized, none of it was priced. It was all over the place. I walked by, three-quarters of it had dust on it. And I'm sitting there like, so what the hell is this? And I was looking at some of it. I was like, so how much is it? The guy, the owner of the booth apparently wasn't there at that moment. But I'm sitting there like, and half the boxes were like squashed. It looked like somebody's garage sale had exploded and just randomly had a booth. And I was like, is your intention to actually sell this shit? Like I'm trying to figure out or you're like, was the flea market busy that day? This is what you decided. Those booths are expensive, man. The booths are expensive.
I was just going to say that. How in the world are you justifying paying that amount of money
Yeah.
for space at this thing and bring crap? I just you must have money to burn.
Here's the thing. I'll say this. I would have bought a couple of junk waxy boxes if the price is right. Like if you're willing to price it correctly, yeah, sure. Like I'll buy a couple of this just for the novelty of it, just because that'd be kind of weird, but sure, I'll get that. Here we know Eric's grumpy isn't news. Eric not grumpy, that would be news. Facts.
I agree.
Facts. Anyone wearing graduation hats to show solidarity to scholarly content? No, not yet. Haven't seen it yet. Here's Josh. Perfect. Good evening, Josh. And Josh, I had the pleasure of chatting with Josh. So, quick story about this since Josh is here. So, I was able to chat with Josh. He pinged me, and then we ended up going to food court to hold court, as you well aware. So that was my first opportunity this expo to do a little holding court there. And we also met Aaron from the Center Ice podcast. So they do the hockey card podcast. So we were able to hang out there and chat for a little bit. Good conversation, fun to hang out. I will say though that by that point in the evening, that was later on towards the latter portion of the show, I had lost track of not having eaten in a while. So by the time I got up, I was like, oh, sometimes you're a little bit hungry, you're a little jittery. So I was like, all right, I don't have enough time to go outside. I'm going to go. I basically went to the snack thing and went to go get a Snickers bar and a drink just to be like, all right, just to tide me over until dinner. Dinner proper.
Wait a minute. If you went and did that, how did you have enough money to buy cards?
A Snickers bar isn't too bad because it is a Snickers bar.
I still don't think I could afford it.
Yeah. We might have to take out a second mortgage. Sacrifices must be made, Eric. Sacrifices must be made. It is what it is. Yeah. Eric is the MJF of YouTube tonight. Going to drop the pipe bomb. We can only hope. That'd be nice. MJF cards selling out the expo. I saw a handful, not too much. I did see a little bit of wrestling, and some of it was. I was looking around. I was curious. I was genuinely curious. I wanted to see. Yep, Aussie Card Dad here. Hi, gents. Give for good night. Not a long time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, today will be a little bit more truncated. So if you got any questions or anything, feel free to throw them out. I'll talk about them as I go through it.
We'll talk about them as you go through and talk about the expo.
Yep. Let's go Celtics, Eric. There you go. Exactly. They're in the finals. You should be happy about something. Jesus.
I'm satisfied.
There you go.
They had a great fourth quarter. They had me nervous for a bit, but they really just unbelievable fourth. It was unbelievable.
There you go. So good evening, Albert. Yep. It's not does it's patina. There was a lot of patina on that one. Please tell me about that Indie Box and 91 football for Heat. Look, I would happily do it. I'm not going to lie to you, Paul. I would. I would just for the lulz. I would. Because I took a picture of it and it was like this weird indie cart box of thing. I was like, but I'll tell you one thing that I am looking at that would make me laugh to no end. I don't know if you remember those random like summer football leagues a couple of years ago, the Alliance of American Football. I actually like the AAF. They had a hobby box of AF cards for $50, and I'm like, I kind of want it. I kind of want it just because it would make me laugh for $50. It's like, would you do 40? I might have to try to talk him down a little bit.
Make me laugh for 10. I don't know if I'd laugh for 50.
I actually like the league. I actually thought it was fun. I actually like the league for what it is. I
I
gotta see what you can pull out of
I
it.
mean, for those of us who may have been around or are interested, the original XFL was interesting to watch. It was somewhat entertaining.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
And you know, with He Hate Me was there.
XFL 2.0 though wasn't bad. The 2.0 wasn't bad. Like I actually thought it was good.
I never saw it, and then COVID kind of killed the league. So
I will tell you this: if COVID hadn't killed that one, I actually thought the second one was on track to actually having some success. They were doing a better job of presenting a football product to people that would enjoy it. Yeah, I thought it was a good product.
And I'm sure you remember, but others may not. It was when the first XFL came out, it was the quote attitude era in WWEF.
That's right.
GHIJKMLP, and you know, and they brought that attitude over to the league, and it was fun. It really was, you know, and where you have the NFL stands for, you know, the no fun league, and you know, the XFL was like, no, we're gonna have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, the talent wasn't as good, but some of those guys did go on to play in the into the NFL, especially their big star. He Hate Me.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Tommy Maddox had a decent run with Pittsburgh. Like he actually had a decent, and that's the key with that league is that you want to have some players that do actually eventually play in the NFL a little bit. They don't have to be superstars, but as long as a couple of players are decent, have careers, that's enough. That proves the league was able to locate some talent. That's not a bad thing. Like Kurt Warner was able to build a Hall of Fame career and win a Super Bowl coming off the Arena Football League. It is possible. There are guys that have some talent that just didn't get the opportunity.
Play in the World League. I watched the World League back then too.
I don't think he played in the World League. I think it was Arena for him. Yeah,
I watched Arena too, but not that I remember him specifically. But I'm not going to lie and say, oh yeah, I was a huge Warner.
Well, you're not a huge Iowa Barnstormers fan, not a big Iowa Barnstormers.
Yeah, I have all the coats and sweatshirts and everything. But yeah, I mean, I remember the World League too. That was over in Europe, and you know, it was interesting. It was something to watch. The rules were a little different. The uniforms were little out there, but
I agree.
But you know, it was interesting.
Yep. So let me grab a couple of these comments here. Junk Wax is where it's at. Scoop up some Dusty to Ills. I think that's fair. Can't wait for someone to dress up as Lanny Puff, go to interview Card Ladder. That'd be funny. I would enjoy that. Green Cardboard. Well, I'm not sure where it is in Korea, but hello. Thank you for joining in. Brian North, how would you compare the crowd size tonight compared to Fridays on previous shows? Now, this is interesting because traditionally in the past, Friday was the first night of the show, normally. Now, Friday night would start off, I'm just trying to think timing-wise. I feel like it would start like early afternoon, midday, and run late. And that was usually the Friday. But that was also the first day of the show before. That's usually how you ran it previously. And that's how you would play that. So it was a little bit different. What I'll do is I'll get a little context to it. Bobby, if you're good, just nod your head. Give me a heads up. Hey, Bobby, we got Chipmunk, or are you good? Chipmunk, first try. Love it. See you in a minute. It wouldn't be a proper show. It would not have been right. But I like that. And a couple of these next couple of questions are appropriate, so these are good. I think this will be kind of fun. So let me take a look here. I'll scan ahead a little bit just to see. Okay, we're good so far. So we'll come back to it. Okay, perfect. Bobby, your audio good now? You good?
I think so.
Perfect. Bobby, question. Refresh my memory. Forget about past, present, future. The Friday shows before, back in the day when Friday was the first day.
Yeah.
Attendance-wise, how do you feel like Fridays usually were in the past compared to the Saturday and Sunday when it was a 3-day show? So we got to go past a couple of years ago.
Friday was the biggest lineups usually.
Yep.
Everybody was there first thing. Saturday would be a big day, but then you had a lot of families coming too. But
Agreed.
Friday is definitely the biggest day.
Yeah, because I would rarely. So in the past, before this last couple, or now I attend more days. I used to pick one day, and for me, usually it was Saturday. Saturday was usually the day where I would have some, because I would only pick one day, and that's how I used to do it. Nowadays, I can spread it out a little bit more, just because it's like, okay, I'll take some time off. It's easier for me to do that, and I don't have to go crazy. Like I don't even have to see the whole show in one day. I can kind of go up and down, because for me, it's less time sensitive, so it's not a big deal. But obviously, if you're going to attend one day, that used to be Saturdays would usually be what you pick. That's why I was curious about the Friday. I wasn't sure.
Well, it was always for us. It was always about the Friday. Is first come first serve.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to be in and get the best stuff. So that was traditionally the busiest day. But it was only it was 1 till 10 back then.
It was
remember?
1 to 10. Okay, because I
Yeah.
knew it finished late. I remembered that it finished late. That was the thing.
By 9 o'clock, it was like ghost town. But
Yeah, absolutely.
regardless,
Yeah. So, how do you feel about this Friday compared to like a normal Friday? Just for the one day specifically.
like you said, the hall was so much bigger.
It was spread out.
It was really spread out, but the aisles were pretty busy at a certain point.
Yeah.
Now it really slowed down. Like there's a 3 hour point there, and then it slowed down a little bit, but it stayed pretty consistent. So would I compare it to a Friday at the other show? Almost equal.
Okay.
Like the other show, you were trying to get past people, and it was on the Friday. This one, there was more room down the aisles. There was a lot more people. I don't know. The lineup went around the building, but back in the old Fridays, the lineup went around the building and then some. So
Yeah, it was really busy. Yeah.
tough call.
Here's what I'll say.
But the VIP was a ghost town.
In comparatively, yeah, for sure, 100%.
So like 10%, 20% of the people, maybe.
Yeah. Now, again, selfishly, it was great for me to be able to walk up and down the aisles, chat with certain folks. We had enough time. It was much more chill. I'll say this: the vibe that I got, because there's a question here from Bob about the vibe. Here's what I'll give you from the vibe. One element of it, from a lot of the dealers that I know, the way the Thursday was, they understand why it exists. But at the same time, from the dealer perspective, a lot of the dealers that had, even the ones that did well, who are doing very well right now, they've had lots of sales. They could have made as much money, they feel like, starting on Friday with a
Yes.
normal Friday schedule. The Thursday, even though they made sales, to be clear, they made money on Thursday. They feel like, yeah, if Thursday hadn't been available, you would have just come on Friday and bought the same stuff from me. That was the way they felt about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that's reasonable. That's reasonable. I get it.
it's
Like I
fair
said,
enough. Is the Thursday needed? I would say actually after this last one, I would say no,
Right.
because it's redundant at that point. Because what you're going to get on Fridays, you're going to get on Thursday, but you don't get the people, and it's that extra day adds a lot because it's like Wednesday setup day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 days show. This is not the national by far. It's 1/10 of the national. So I think a 3 day show would be a little bit better with a 1 day setup. So 4 days in total. Now it's a 5 day thing, a 5 day gig. Tough. I don't know if they're going to continue with this time of year. I didn't really appreciate the time of year being so late in the year. And all the other shows that went off prior to this, the ones in the west and the east of Canada, it really made for slim pickings for me. Probably the slimmest in a long time.
Right.
A long.
Well, I think it's more than anything, it's a test of the market, because by comparison, stateside, Dallas runs every 2 months, and they don't have too much trouble. And then they're running shows all over the place. They got Philadelphia has got a show, and then they've got the national, and then they've got this the East Coast national. They got that going on, and they're able to kind of spread it out. Yes, they have 10 times as many people, but they probably have 40 times as many shows. So the ratio is actually well more skewed, even by number of shows.
True enough.
So it's like I said, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it plays out. So that helps at least a little bit with the comparison. What's the vibe? Today was pretty good in terms of a lot of the folks that I talked to. Like I said, a lot of the feeling was that they would have done just as well if the Friday had been the first day. There was a decent amount of traffic during certain segments of it, like Bobby was mentioning. I didn't have too much trouble getting around. It was fine for me. I didn't come right at opening. That's not my thing. I come a little later. But by the time I was there, like, activity was happening. I know the PSA Canada guys were pretty busy. They were putting through a lot of carts. I was seeing interesting things. I was seeing interesting deals. One thing that I've laid the groundwork with a lot of the dealers that I know. I'm going to ask them again tomorrow, kind of get a sense of what they're doing with it. I'm curious to see if we get more shifting towards cash trade deals, if people try to do that, or if they, kind of shy away from cash. And that's the curiosity that I've been seeing. Although I have seen some decent deals, but it's always a combination.
I would say there's a lot more Pelican cases this time around than I seen at the Fall Expo.
I agree with that, and I'm dangerously close. If I can find the right situation, it's like I'm prepared to purchase my Pelican case because reasons. It's got to happen.
Yeah,
it's very important.
Buy a Pelican case, and I'm going to beat you with it.
I like that.
I want to see you try that. And then it's like, what happened? Why is Eric on the ground bleeding? Well, apparently the Pelican case rejected him, and it worked the other way.
Yeah.
Why is he laying there with a pile of BGS slabs on top of him? We felt it was insult to injury time. Insult to injury time.
Yeah.
Got to put it all together. So here are McKinnon, McCarr, Shesterkin, McDavid, the hot cards, the Expo. McDavid has definitely done well. I've seen some McKinnon stuff. Cale McCarr, I've definitely seen. I don't know the third one.
Shesterkin, he's the goalie of the Rangers who's up for MVP this year, and
Oh, really?
he's definitely going to win the Vezina.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
no. If he doesn't win the Vezina, I give up on hockey. But he's also in the MVP. He's one of the first goalies in a long time that's being talked about for MVP.
Right. Okay. No, that's good. Like I said, and I fully conceded this. A dinner on Thursday, because Bobby booked the dinner on Thursday. I just said, like, current game, I'm not watching much. I fully acknowledge and fully admit. I try to watch here and there. I try to keep some tabs. I've been very impressed with McDavid for the bit that I've seen in the playoffs. Some of the stuff he's done, very impressive. I've been very impressed. But I'm not watching day to day. So a lot of times a name will get thrown out at me. It's like, I really don't know. I'd love to tell you. I just don't know.
I am watching day and night. I am watching every single game because sooner or later, the cup's going to be handed over, and you don't get hockey again until late September. So I am just watching every single game.
Yeah, gotcha. That's fair. But that's kind of what's interesting about the whole thing is that I think, again, playoff hockey is a lot of fun. Playoff hockey is a lot of fun. So I don't think there's going to be too much concern and too much discussion on that. But yeah, I think right now is a good time of year. I'm very curious about how this Final Four turns out. I would like to see Edmonton stay competitive because I think it keeps things interesting, especially in the next couple of days. It'd be really fun to keep that. That would be good. We'll have to see.
They're getting their asses handed to them.
They're giving up a ton of goals. They're giving up. It's really hard to do that, giving up a ton of goals. Let me grab a couple of these more comments here. David G, good evening. Looking forward to hearing about the Expo. Definitely. We'll get to that in a second. I definitely want to talk about it a little bit more. Judge with 20 home runs already. He's actually been going crazy. I've been very impressed. I did see he had 19, so I guess he hit his 20th. So very good. Good stuff. I like to hear that. Okay, there's a lot of comments. Hold on. Let me get caught up here.
Yeah.
Arena football was fun to watch. Big unit. Adam Vinatieri came from the World League. Okay, there you go. That's good.
I didn't know that.
Bobby with the callback. I like that. Alvin, Simon, Bobby, and Theodore.
Yep. That's my voice.
Chipmunks,
right?
yep. That's how you can tell. So I'm about 8 minutes behind, so I'm getting quick here. Wouldn't be alive without Alvin the Chipmunk. Yep, absolutely. How's the PSA mob, or is Mint drawing more? No. I will say, though, that made me laugh about Mint. They have their booth where they're accepting stuff, but then they've got the spot where they're doing the on-site grading that's behind like a veil. You can see through the damn thing. It's like these black curtains, but you can see through them, so you can see like a person. I literally walked by it today. I was like, really, guys? Really?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, great.
Behind closed doors.
Yeah, there's the super secret Mint, the evaluation, multi-part process. Along with the case of Mint grading lines. I didn't see anybody at the Mint line. I didn't see anybody.
KSA was rather busy.
I'm sure, yeah, that I believe. That makes sense to me. But I didn't see too much in terms of Mint. I did see the folks behind the black curtain, I guess. That something was happening back there. I don't know.
And again, we talked about this with Brad last week. The same advertisement went out again on the Instagram account of the show, saying it's the exact same one. So again, it says PSA Canada live grading and authentication, and it's like, no, sir,
not true. I will say though, and maybe next week or whatever, I'll get a chance to have Brad. I will say though, today I was by the PSA Canada booth, and I actually saw Brad was taking a look at a very nice 1963 Topps baseball set. Really good one, like and some good cards in it. The Mana looked pretty good. I think the Hank Aaron was another one that looked pretty nice. Considering they got the dark border on the one side, it's actually tricky to get it in nice shape, but they look nice. And he was very excited. It's like some people bring some stuff up for him to look at and stuff like that. Some for grading and some maybe for a purchase or whatever, but I'll leave it to those guys. But it looked cool. It was kind of neat seeing at least them looking at it. So it was kind of cool.
I have this image of Brad like standing in the middle of the aisle, running to his shop table, and then running over to PSA Canada table and just keep running back and forth the entire time.
Well, what's funny is he doesn't really have to, because they are across from each other, within eyesight of each other. So it's a situation where if there's something that he needs to do, he can always point somebody in that direction. He can always do that.
I brought a friend over who had some cards to submit. One of them was as I texted you, Carlos, Babe Ruth rookie, Sporting
Mhm.
News, blank back.
Mhm.
So Brad went, what?
Mhm.
And we were all kind of going, what's with the blank back? Like you could tell it was age toned and wasn't peeled
Yeah.
off or anything.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, there's some interesting stuff coming out
Yeah.
in Canada.
I'll say something that also, because of the nature of the boot they're doing, they've been receiving a lot of stuff that's either A, extremely good counterfeits, or B, question, like it's hard to tell, like really borderline cases. And there are a lot of people trying to get a lot of stuff by, and a lot
Sure.
of stuff's getting caught. But a lot of stuff's even getting caught at the booth itself. They're like looking at us like, yeah, I don't think so. I don't believe you. But other stuff that is like, it's really good. Now, a quick thing I'll mention, just this on the side. I have the ability to share screen, but the way this is set up, since this is on the laptop right now, I'd have to completely shut it down and redo it. So
Got
just
it.
letting everybody know, I won't be able to do the share screen like normal right now.
Well,
So
I just want to make a quick point. Bobby just said, yeah, I brought a friend over to take a look over. Bobby, I don't want to hear any more crap about you and your friends up at the expo, okay? Because this is what happens when Bobby gets with his friends at the freaking expo.
For the record, Eric, the best part is that Bobby literally sent me that and wanted me to share it, and that's why I mentioned I couldn't do the share screen. So thank you for showing
Thanks,
the picture.
Eric.
That's what I needed. That's important. That's
So I don't
important.
want to hear about Bobby and his friends at the goddamn expo.
Me and Tim's are buddy. We're buddies now. That's it.
Like I said,
out.
I was just
You're
chatting
out.
with Tim
I'm in.
across the hallway. It's there.
Man.
So here, hockey.net. What was the sentiment in the hobby regarding the current market? Some YouTuber are doom and gloom. So let me answer this as best I can. I obviously being in YouTube, I've heard that too, and I understand it completely. I'll tell you this: there were people, and let me give you a quick story because now I want to get into a little expo stories as I read some more of these comments here. Let me give you a story. There were a lot of different folks. Some folks are obviously a little bit gun shy spending cash. We know that, and for obvious reasons. It makes a lot of sense, totally. And if people have adjusted their budgets accordingly, again, makes sense totally. You've got a bunch of folks, including a bunch of kids and adults and the whole 9 yards, who are still out there looking for their favorite cards or whatever. They're being more careful. They're evaluating the prices they're going to pay and all that. High end stuff is tricky. Some of it is moving fine if it's priced accordingly to move. Some of it is a little tricky to move, and people have to figure out the thing. My favorite thing, when I walked in the expo, first thing on Thursday when I came in a little after the start, but I came in to go visit Steve, my buddy Steve, and go visit his booth and say hi to him and everything. And when I was there, he was talking to a young man who's in his teens, probably somewhere between 15 and 18, I'm not sure. So he was there. They were putting cards on the table. They were excellent, really good cards, thousands of dollars worth of cards. McDavid, some patch autos, all kinds of nice stuff. Because Steve deals in pretty nice stuff. So they were doing some kind of a deal, working through the numbers, and he's pretty fair, but he'll talk through it with them. And the young guy was doing his thing, and he was doing his thing. And all the cards, the really nice ones, and the one touches and everything, were inside of an actual shoebox. A real shoebox. Not a Pelican case, not a 1600 count. It was a box that you put shoes in. And it wasn't like Nikes or Reebok. It was like some weird off third brand. I actually saw him again today. So he was by to do a deal with Steve. Yeah, he was talking about with a different card. And literally Steve was looking at him. And as he was doing, I was sitting there and taking a breather, taking the load off for a minute. And as I was like, it's like, ask him if he'll throw in the shoebox. And Steve turns to me and goes, it's like, yeah, you would have that. And it's like, you wouldn't want to have any of the contents. Oh, no, you can just take the box. The box is the value. The box is the key.
It is.
And then the young guy was looking at me and was like, no, I just appreciated that you had it in the shoebox. I like it. I have no issue with it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. But he had that contents, just guessing off the top of my head. He probably had $20,000 worth of cards in a shoebox. Actual shoebox.
I
Like,
wonder
it's
if
absurd.
people do that so people, the bad guys, the thieves, aren't like
They're looking for a Pelican case finding a shoebox.
No, seriously. Listen,
Probably.
you're a bad guy, right? You're
Yeah.
looking to snatch and grab. Are
Yeah.
you grabbing a Pelican case from a 15-year-old or an old shoebox from a full-fledged adult? It's like, give me that Pelican case.
Well, in this case, the shoebox was a 15-year-old. In this case, the shoebox was a 15-year-old. But I get your point. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
So to answer Hockey's question, I think there are a lot of hobbyists who are doing just fine. I think there are hobbyists who are out there looking for stuff that are doing just fine. They're having fun. They're doing their thing. And I'll actually share a couple of things I picked up. I didn't pick up a lot. I picked up a handful of things. But I think if you understand what you're looking for, I think if you take this in the right spirit, it can be a lot of fun. If you're worried about the value of your portfolio, then this could certainly be an anxious time. But if you're a collector just having a good time, I think you're fine. That's just kind of the way, honestly, that's the way I would approach it. That's the way I would look at it. That's just my take, my opinion. Yeah. So here, DR, good evening all. Excited to see the notification. The first card show here in months this week in Syracuse. The last show until September 11th. Well, have fun, DR. That's good. Pelican case, yep. Fanny pack, that's where it's at. Absolutely. Here, let me go back over.
I use a cycling messenger bag. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's what I use.
So Victor, good evening. Bobby's within driving distance, so he is. And at the hotel, yes. I'm out just outside of easy driving distance. That would be the way I would do it. So that's kind of how it would happen. So let me take a look here. Yeah, here. Carlos not appreciating the greatness of McKinnon McDavid. Best hockey since the early 90s. If you can't watch now, there's no hope. Don't really care.
don't try to save the unsavable.
I don't have to. I don't care. It could be the greatest hockey of all time. Don't care. But thank you.
It's pretty awesome right now.
I don't have any doubts. Don't care. Yeah. Is Eric or Bobby a fan of Herschel Walker? That's a random question.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyone submitted to FCG grading at the Expo? Do they have FCG grading at the Expo?
What is FCG?
I haven't seen that one. Yeah. Here, Mark Lattimore, good evening. Rips a new Prism football so we can see you get $100 bucks of value out of a $1,700 box. Not quite. But I will do tonight, since I got it, this will be one of the stories I'll share. I got an OPG Platinum blaster. So I got that as part of a deal. So I'll probably open that up in a minute. Let me finish reading these. I'm actually surprised. A lot of comments. So thank you for the comments, folks. I'm trying to get caught up here. Eric, a friend is someone you like and hang out with, not just someone that tolerates your presence. It's a valid point. Wow, he had it ready. He didn't even have to write it out on the spot. I like that. All right, with no real NFL presence in Canada, what hobbies up there for $1,400 for last year's Prism football? Do people accept it or just laugh? Both. Some people accept it, some just laugh.
Yeah, you get a lot of wax moving. I see cards moving, but not so much in wax.
I agree with that. What's in the box? That's right. The collectors are enjoying collecting again. I agree with that. Hashtag paper millionaires. That's right, Josh. Exactly right. That's why I say, look, some of our cards have appreciated, which is awesome. I don't care. Unless I'm selling it, and I can get that appreciably, so be it. That's great. But what good does that do me? That's why I say, I'm not worried about the value of my quote unquote portfolio. It's well, look, if I'm worried about that, then let me sell it and make my money and do something else with it, because then that's different. But in the meantime, it's look, I buy the stuff because I like it stuff. I'm a collector having a good time. Absolutely. Big spender, no question.
Hey, I might actually time out for a second. Hey, numbnuts, did you get my? I just sent you a direct message through Instagram. Did you get it?
There you go. Questions. I might actually be buying a box of cards this month. Korean baseball cards, that is. That's all right. It's all good. Nice to see you have arts and crafts time. Absolutely. Yep. There you go. Perfect. All right. I actually got caught up. Perfect. So let me explain quickly. I'll actually show something off, but then I'll show this as well. So I actually picked this up as part of a separate deal. So I got the card and this. So first, this was a toss-in as part of the deal. So this came into play. So the card I picked up is actually a duplicate of one that I have. So this is the 0910 limited logos patch out of Medina. So I have one of these, but the patch on mine is not as good as this one. This one is actually 3 colors. I know with the lighting you can't tell, but there's 3 colors on that one. So you got the black and the dark green. So that's why they blended and it looks like one color. So anyway, so it is a slight upgrade on the one I have. Great. So they had it marked. So this is the story. They had it marked at $245 Canadian. Not ridiculous, not what I wanted to pay, but not horrible. If it went on eBay with a decent patch, it's not completely out of whack. But I didn't want to pay that. So I offered $175. And they said, well, I can't do $175. Could you do $225? Still a little higher than I wanted to do. So what I said, my suggestion, was an easy one. I said, okay, they had the blasters for $30 at the booth. So I said, okay, if I give you $230, I'll take the card, throw in the blaster. Do $30 for the blaster and the card. And they said, okay, no problem, fine, great. In the end, I can live with that, that's fine. So what I did, now this is important. This is not a skill testing question, but Eric, I want you to do this for us. Okay. This is all Canadian dollars, so just stick with the number. The number's the important part. Focus.
There we go.
Focus.
All right.
3 $50 bills. 4 $20 bills. The deal is $230. How much money did I give him? Three $50 bills,
Right, so that's
four
a-
$20 bills.
150 plus 80.
Correct.
Right.
That is
30.
$230, right? Okay. So I handed it to him. Just like that. I made it easy. I didn't stick small bills, no change, nothing weird. I'm not playing any games here. I'm just handing him money. He takes it, counts it slowly, and then goes, okay, here's your $10. Okay then. Okay then. Thanks.
It happens a lot, actually.
Maybe he
They
just
get
wanted to
kind of-
give you a deal. I don't know.
Maybe so.
It
Maybe
happens
so.
a lot.
Yeah, but it was just
Guys
funny.
guys don't have their phone with them. It's like, yeah, oh yeah. Here.
It was just funny to me because I literally gave him exact change. It's like you don't need to do anything. I made this as easy as I could for you. And I was
Split
like,
them up. You mix 50s and 20s. And they
oh,
do the math.
ridiculous! How dare I? How dare
Yeah,
I?
but that money's really confusing because you want to go play Monopoly with it or something. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least they're color coded.
Yeah, everything color coded exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're just wondering how close Eric is to be 100% back in action. It sounds like the spark is back. How close are you being into action, Eric?
I listen. First of all, thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I'm getting better every day. I had a really tough, in a good way, a very tough PT session today. A lot of flexing and breaking up scar tissue and stuff like that. And I think hopefully in another month I'll maybe be close. I'll be a lot closer to 100% than I am now. I'm probably in the 70s.
There you
Not
go.
bad.
There you go. Not too bad.
Maybe high 60s.
Yeah. So you go. Eric is the type to call someone to see if they got his text. Correct.
Listen, Paul, I got plenty of paper and pens.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, probably a fan of the show. You never know. So I did get a chance to talk to a couple of folks. So it was really nice that some folks. So also when Josh was around, I was chatting with him and with Aaron from Center Ice Cardcast. They do a hockey card podcast. So we had a chance to have a good conversation. That was my first opportunity this expo to hold court at the food court a little bit, which is nice. So it was good to sit down and have a chat. Today, like I said, was really fun. It was a longer day at the show, but I was taking it easy. Like I was in no hurry. There was no hurry. Now I'll share another item with you that was pertaining indirectly. Bobby was there for this one. So after dinner last night, one of the guys at his booth, help me out on the name here, Bobby. Who was the one who sold? This is the Medano poster I'm going to show. So it's
David.
David, thank you. So
Jones.
David, who was there with us, and we were all chatting and having a nice conversation on Thursday night. I came over to the booth, and they said they had a Medano item for me, and I said, okay, cool, sure, show me what you got. So he showed it to me. I'm gonna grab it here. I'm gonna have it at a little distance because it's a little big, but so this here is a poster. So I don't know if you can make it out. It is autographed. So this
very
is a
nice.
poster from 97-98 Pacific. So Medano was the poster guy for Pacific in the first year. So in the inaugural season of Pacific. So I actually have this poster previously. But this one is signed right here nicely. Very good.
nice.
And with the little Frozen Pond certificate of authenticity. Frozen Pond's pretty good. I've done business with them before. They're good.
I trust
But yep, nice right here. And it's got a little big old top loader. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty good. I can't complain about it.
Are you gonna put it in a nicer frame and hang it, or is it?
I'm
gonna be closet?
gonna figure it out. It is a big poster. I'd like to, but it is a pretty big poster, so I have to figure it out. But I can't complain. It was a really good deal. I asked him what he wanted. He said 30, and I'm not gonna fight him at that point. So I can't complain at that stage. Not even haggling. It's not even worth haggling at that stage. Like
That's
yes,
like
absolutely.
24 US.
Yeah. So like I'm not gonna cry about that. Like sure, no problem.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so thank you to him, absolutely, and it was a really good. That was basically my first deal of the day. That other Medano card, like I said, is an upgrade, so the other one will probably end up on eBay at some point. No complaints there. Wasn't able to find anything else that I wanted vintage-wise, although I did see a table that had some stuff maybe from my 63 Fleer set. But again, since there's no urgency, it's sitting there on a whole showcase, I'll probably come by tomorrow and see if I can do some kind of a bulk deal. So I may do a little bit of a bulk deal with them and see if they're interested in doing that. Be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of fun. We'll see. So I might put a good dent in that set. So that'll be tomorrow's agenda. Do you know if there are any trade nights happening? Yes, on Saturday there is a trade night. I don't know where it is off the top of my head, but I do know for a fact there has been one organized. They did post and advertise some stuff with it on the Sports Card Expo social medias, but exactly, I know one of the vendors is sponsoring it, so I know
Yeah.
they've got something for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trendsetter Bob, absolutely. Yeah. Here we go. Is Jealous of fan art made by Eric? Facts.
That's right.
Facts.
That's right.
But yeah, that was a very interesting one. That was it's like I said, it's been an interesting day in terms of watching a lot of the little deals go on. Has been kind of fun for me for the most part because it's a lot cheaper to watch. It's a lot cheaper to rubberneck. So that's been good. And I was over, like I said, over where
Upper
over
deck.
where Eric and the PSA, we're over where Brad and the PSA guys were, and they've had some interesting stuff come in. Like I've had a chance to look around and see some of it, and I will say I was able to complete the deal. So, Upper Deck AW Hobby Box got one of those. The WWE Revolution product has made it on the tables. I don't know if it was there Thursday because I definitely didn't see it. However, on Friday, it is June the 3rd when it was officially released. It's definitely been on the tables today. I did see it. So it's kind of interesting. How's the East Coast Mafia behaving? So far, so good. They've been all right so far. We weren't able to have dinner with them. We were gonna have Brad over for dinner, but they got swamped at PSA Canada. They had a ton of stuff. So let's take a look here.
Yeah, today was a little slow. I made some good purchases on the sort of the Wednesday and the Thursday, and today I purchased nothing.
Nothing.
It's a very surprising day that I never purchase anything at a show, but I couldn't find anything because I didn't have much, just nothing to pull the trigger on, and that's very unusual.
Right.
Yeah, but you'll come up with something.
Uh,
I'm not concerned about you. You'll be there at the last minute on Sunday, and all of a sudden,
hey, you never know what comes in. So
Well, that's exactly it. There's still a couple of days here.
Carlos, before you start cracking packs, can I?
Yeah.
I just want to show something to
Sure.
people. I am very, 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 very excited about.
Okay, before you
I-
do that, let me read out this question real quick. I'll answer it, and then we'll do it. Any big industry types of the show? Card Ladder, SCI, Sports Card Nonsense. I haven't seen Sports Card Investor. I don't think he's over. Sports Card Nonsense, I definitely haven't seen. Card Ladder, I definitely haven't. Card Ladder aren't there at all.
Nope.
I will say Carvin Chung is there. He's doing his thing. I will say that Great Curator is around, and I think somebody asked about that earlier, maybe before the show started. Have you met the Great Curator? I did answer that, but he definitely is at the booth. Haven't talked to him at all, but he's definitely around. I have seen him a couple of times. So there are some YouTube folks for sure, but yeah, the industry folks, like, I don't think they made it over to the border at all. So these ones are there for sure, and Slab Strong and Stand
is
Up
not
Displays.
there. Chris is not there from Card Ladder.
Yeah.
Mike is not there from Sports Card Nonsense.
there was lots of rumors going around about Steve Hart showing up and other things, and I'm going, where are you guys hearing that? But rumor, hearsay, popular opinion. It's kind of like no, they were there.
Yeah, the regular traditional industry guys with the industry booths, they were definitely there. I was able to. One of the recommendations I gave in that past video is you got to use the coupons for the VIP stuff. So I used it to get a vintage collector magazine from Beckett. So that was free with my little coupon thing. I'll take it. Why not?
Throw it
It's
away.
free. It's
Throw
free.
it away.
With a vintage collector magazine, we can live with. But yes, but like I said, take advantage of it if it's there. Why not?
Yep.
So yeah, Daft Star Wars Man. No, that would have been funny. That would have been kind of fun. Bobby went through that Edmonton Expo, drove 5 hours each way, hotel, only purchased some 23.1 touches. Yeah. Unfortunately, the biggest deal that Paul was able to make at that show was the card that he found for me, and then we brokered it. So that was really the only purchase. Sometimes it happens though. Like I maybe a recommendation I would give to anybody for any show: don't ever feel pressured like you have to buy something. I know, I understand it's annoying if you paid money to go there or whatever, but like, don't spend your money if you've got nothing going on. Don't worry about it. Like even for the last couple of days, I bought 4 Medano items. One of them is that card, which is an upgrade of a different card. So really, only 3 items really, and that's over 2 days, and I feel fine with it. Like I'm okay with that because it's like, no, I'm being a little pickier at this point. Like why would I want to just buy random stuff that it'd be kind of neat. I walked by. I saw one of those Pro Set autographs that they've got for that Pro Set Leaf product, and the guy at the table had it for $75. And I just and he sat there and he goes, "Oh, you can't find too many Medano autographs for 75." I was like, "Yes, I can, all the time. I buy lots of them. They're all cheaper than that." I had on my phone from eBay. I had bought one from that same series, different, numbered to the same, but one of the different designs, and I paid less than $30 US for it. So why on earth would I pay 75? I'm good.
Sense.
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Doesn't make it. So that's a comp though. Same series, same year, same player, same numbering. So it's about as close to comp as you're going to get without being the identical card. So it's like, no, you're a wee bit high. That's don't need that.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny situation. When I went over, I saw this wrapper. This guy had a 6061 Topps hockey wrapper, a very rare wrapper, and he had it in a top loader under display case, but he had some stuff on his display case, so I thought nobody saw it, so I kind of saw it, and he had $700 on it, and I go, shoot, because I just spent a whole bunch of money. I spent about $500. I brought $1,000 with me, and I was going to go to the bank machine, so I went over to the booth there. I was staying with my friend Wayne, and I said, Wayne, you got a couple $100? I just, I don't want to hit the bank. I just want to go back over and try to negotiate a deal. So he goes, okay, Bobby, yeah, I'll give you, here's the money. He goes, can you just watch the booth while I go to the washroom? I said, okay. It's like, okay, like everything, time is of the essence here. So what I do is I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, how long does it take to take a leak? And it's 10 minutes later. And I'm just sitting there going, well, come on, it's going to go. You just all get nervous and what have you. So anyways, he finally comes back after 10 minutes. I go, all right, thanks. So I go over there. So I get it out and I pull it out, and the guy goes, yeah, it's really nice. And I go, and then I flung it to him like it was a piece of paper. It was a piece of paper. I said, this is a print. And then he grabs it and he's picking it up and he goes, are you sure? I said, do you know who I am? No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And I'm sitting there going,
to say that.
You thought it very loudly though. He heard you.
oh yeah, it was actually there. It's like, come on, dude. Like, really. And he's feeling the paper. And I'm sitting there going, have you ever touched a real wrapper? Like, honestly, I just shook my head and said, okay, fine. Okay, I'm out. Thanks. And he's still, as I'm leaving, going, okay. I went, oh my God.
Nice.
Stay away, please.
Yeah. So Eric, you wanted to share something? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I have a lot of FOMO, a fear of missing out. I wish I was there. It's like my Disney World. It's my happiest place on earth. Hanging out with you guys and everyone else is really the best part. And so, anyways, I finally pulled the trigger on something down here. It's from the shop, and I worked something out with Phil, the owner, and I'm gonna get it.
All right. Well, he goes get it. By the way, Bobby, he's got a thing. Hold on, it's coming.
It's right here.
All right.
Hockey stick, right?
All right. Go ahead. I got you zoomed in, so go ahead.
Just the hockey stick.
Northland,
Well,
pretty
If
famous
you-
hockey stick.
look at my YouTube name of Sanderson to Orr. That's the call, of course, that was made when Bobby Orr flew through the air.
So raise it up to your chest. Raise it up to where the
I
logo
will in a
is.
second.
All right.
So when Derek Sanderson passed the puck to Bobby Orr from behind the net, and Orr flew through the air, and so Derek Sanderson I'm a huge fan, and this is a gamer,
Nice.
and he will be signing it on Sunday.
Nice.
There you go. That works.
So I am extremely excited.
Is
You
it
can- you
game
can
ready
look
or
up-
game used?
You can look up pictures of Sanderson early in his career, and you'll see that this is the type of stick with the yellow, orange, and yellow bands, and the Northlands from Woody Dumart's and Company, Needham Height, Mass. Stick Factory. So
Is there tape on the back end there?
there's not tape here, but it looks like there
So-
was at some point.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And obviously,
off.
this was from the, early 70s, late 60s. So, at some point in its life that someone took the tape off.
I got
Gotcha.
it.
But,
I didn't know if it was a game ready or game used.
well, it's it definitely has tons of marks on it. And the blade's been worn down a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's been like out on the pavement playing street hockey, because those would really look
Not
cool.
yet.
No. As soon as he signs it, I'm playing street hockey with it.
As you should.
Like I
Deservedly
did
so.
my Gretzky stick. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's doing a show with this guy that used to play for the Red Wings, Kings, and the Rangers.
What's his name?
Martin Dion or something. I don't know.
We're gonna get to that in a second. Hold on. We got to comment on that. So hang on.
Okay.
So,
Since you bring it up, we got to comment on that one.
So, anyways, Derek's going to be signing this at a show Sunday.
Yep.
So
All
I'm
right.
very excited about that.
Yep.
It's going on the wall.
Where
next
are
to
you going to
the
get it
Reggie
signed, though?
Gamer.
Where are you getting it signed?
He's going to be at a show.
No, we're on the stick. We're on the stick.
Oh. Well, listen. You guys know I have some connections, and I can. It's possible that someone could come to me. So I was answering the question. He's going to be at a show. You know that I know people who know people, and I could just call up and get stuff done. So,
you preempted that before you started explaining. And I said where you get it signed, and then you start to reiterate where you were going to get it signed, but not where on the stick you were going to get it signed.
So
let's
I'm
go
going
forward.
to remove this piece of tape.
Is that tape or is that like fiberglass strip?
Yeah, fiberglass strip. But
Don't take that.
well, if I cut it here and peel this one thing,
While
off
you were debating that, I'm going to
and
read these
clean
comments.
this up, it's the perfect place to have him put his signature. I don't want him writing it on the tape, and I want it right on the stick. So if I just take this off.
Okay. While Eric is talking to himself, I'm going to read these comments. I love digging through bargain boxes shows, even if they don't make a deal. It's awesome to see the way different cars that have fun. Happy Gilmore putter, but not off. Not too bad. Marcel Dion would be better. Facts. Still pretty sweet. Yep. CC says very nice, Eric. Yep. Game use stock. So we're going to see. It's one of those things. That was part of the debate that Bobby had. I wanted to get caught up on these comments, so now we're good. All right. Now you may speak again, Eric. I wanted to finish reading the damn comments. They were changing to the thing.
I'm just excited. I'm excited. This is a big deal. I have tons. I've met Derek tons of times. I have tons of stuff signed. I got my picture taken with him many times over the years. He's a great guy.
Are you going to get a BGS authenticated? That's important.
Well, yeah. What else would I do?
Correct.
BGS.
Facts.
Absolutely.
I think you should have it inscribed to your mom since she's the biggest star of the family.
Exactly.
Well, one, she is. There's no question about that, and she got a kick out of all the attention that she's been getting. You guys are making her feel really good, and I appreciate that.
Eric's mom is right. We all agree.
Yeah, the hashtag believe Eric's mom thing. She thinks
Correct.
is the funniest thing.
Yeah, no
Carlos
stress.
did a kind of an impromptu video with Jay on Sunday, and they kicked it off talking about my idiocy and my mom, and she loved that. So, she's having fun with it, and I appreciate everybody being kind and respectful and humorous, and it makes her happy. So I appreciate it.
You should actually get the stick signed on the shaft and the blade.
All right.
Kind of beside his name, a little bit down. I think it would be really good.
I think it's fair. So
So I'll have it done Sunday, and then next Friday I can show everybody.
There you go. Perfect. So while I wanted to let Eric finish showing off his item, so I've opened up the thing. I've got the packs. The blaster themselves, 4 cards per pack, 5 packs per box. So that's what the blaster's got going for it. But in this case, it was included as part of the deal, so no complaints on that. So I'll open these up here. And while that's going on, if you guys have any questions about the show, I showed off the items that I picked up. Nothing too crazy, like I said. For the most part, it was kind of chatting with folks, and I was very happy to have some fun conversations with some folks. And part of the conversations, and based on the folks I mentioned already earlier, I can let you know that I'm going to try to figure out something where I'll get Tim to come back so that he and Eric can make fun of each other for a bit. But then also apparently Tim may have something interesting to say not too long from now. So there may be a little announcement or something related to his stuff, and we may time it around that time. But I'll be in touch with him and we'll talk about it.
One more thing. Did you see that in the comments a little further up? Name slighted me.
Oh, we always like to.
We kind of
Slighted
yes,
you.
but you didn't notice the slight.
Yeah,
Carlos and Barbie are there. Who else do you need?
that's factual.
Yeah,
It's a statement of fact, yes.
me. They need me.
Do they? Do we need you though?
Yes,
we?
you do.
For comedic relief, I suppose.
Whatever.
Well, you know those.
You'll take whatever you can get.
No, but that was a dig.
Yeah.
That was a dig.
I haven't seen Merle World yet, but I'll like I said, I'll be by tomorrow. I've got a little more time because now I'm working on that side of the room. So like I said, I took care of the first side, and now I'm working my way back over there. I'll see if I can see any of the dusty junk wax boxes and see if I can actually maybe acquire one. That'd be kind of fun. Again, if the price is right, by all means. But we'll have to see what's going on here.
Was that the place that had comics as well at the end?
No, that specific booth was just pretty much a junk wax. It was a small one. It was a very small one, relatively. It was just a bunch of junk wax piled up. Is Marcel Dion at the expo?
Yes,
I've
he
seen.
is.
I was
Is
hanging
he?
out with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was okay.
He is.
But was he set up or was he just kind of hanging
Yeah,
around?
he was set up. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So,
gotcha.
so we've been trying to call him to find out what's going on because he's scheduled to be here in 2 days. So it's like, how are you there?
He's got it all planned out. Don't worry.
Teleportation.
Have you already talked? Have you talked to him about it?
Yeah, he's going to be. I don't know how the guy ran so hard, but doing this show, leaving, bam, he's going to go up there and do another show. So, whatever.
All right.
He
So
loves
there you go.
being,
Like, I just
wanted,
asked
and I don't blame him.
Bobby, is he gonna have someone else watch his table for Sunday, or is he just
No, I
not
think
gonna
he's
have a
gonna,
table on
I,
Sunday?
he's gonna sum it up and take it away, and yeah. So nobody's gonna watch his tape. He's gonna pack up and he'll be gone.
So he'll, man, that guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be there Saturday, pack up, jump on a plane,
Yep.
and come to Boston
Pretty much.
for Sunday.
Well, on a plane to Boston isn't exactly like flying across the world. It's not that crazy.
No, I'm just so
But
the
landing in
guy-
Australia in 12 hours.
So I mean, the guy's there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, it's not like the plane is going to go on the turnpike and it gets lost. That could happen.
Oh, yeah, you don't understand. I'm just saying. Listen, this guy's not 20-something years old.
I get
this
it.
is-
I get it.
He's going hard.
I get it. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question, Jeff. So I hadn't seen him, but okay, fair enough. If he's around, I get that. So Kathy, Eric's
hey,
mom
Mom.
here. Yep, he's been a good boy this week. No news stories. Fair enough, Kathy. Appreciate it. Thank you for chiming in. So, Aussie Guard Dad, are you planning to keep the wrestling box sealed? For the moment, yes, that is my plan. I think, given that I've got the box, because it was the inaugural year, it's literally the first AEW issue that has ever existed. So, like, from that perspective, it is compelling to keep it sealed. What would have made me very happy is if blasters had been available, because I would like to open some blasters. Bob had great. I don't expect godlike correlation like what Bob got. That was very unique in terms of what he got, as far as I'm concerned. But I would still like to open a couple. That would be very nice. I'd like to, because it's not like I need it. I have most of the singles that I want, and the rest of them I can chase after. But I'd still like to open some packs. I don't want to open that box though, because like having a sealed box of that inaugural year, first issue, new, basically a new wrestling company that didn't have any other cards down the road. It'd be kind of nice to have that sealed box. So we'll see. I may just have to get another box and just spring forward, and then have one to open for fun, and then have the other one to keep sealed. So we'll see. But for now, that one's staying sealed either way. So that part is easy enough. Disappointed the pepperoni guy wasn't at the show today. Facts.
The meat guy's not there.
Yeah, I don't think I
see
saw
him.
him.
Nope.
Yeah, which is shocking because usually it makes bank. So while I'm going here, so I'll share a couple of the cards here. So just pack one. I'll share them. So Johnny Goudreau, regular card. These are all the chromium for the O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Second one's actually pretty good for me. Second one's Jason Robertson. It's the Sunset Parallel. It's actually pretty nice. Looks pretty cool. So that's actually not too bad. And then I do have here, this one is the Violet Pixels, and that is Jacob Slavin of Carolina. Neat looking card.
Yeah.
Good design. And then we got, so these are only 4 cards per pack. So Jonathan Quick, last base card. So we got that. That's pack number 1.
4 cards a pack.
4 cards a pack. That's it. 20 cards per blaster.
We're going back to the 60s.
Yeah, that's all there is, man. I don't know what to tell you. So we got Joe Pavelski, second pack. And then we got, who's this? This is Alex Belzile, marquee rookies. And this is the rainbow. So it is a parallel of the base. And we got, who is this? This is a neon yellow surge. By the way, Upper Deck, kudos to you for putting the name of the friggin' parallel on the back. I don't have to guess. It's right there. It just tells me what it is. Makes my life easy. Vladimir Tarasenko. There you go.
Yeah, he is really, really good.
Nick Robertson. There you you go. But yeah, so let me see here if I got this. This still smells great, smelling freshly warm beer nuts at the show like the old days.
No, I
No.
don't even remember the old days having beer nuts.
I'm sure they did, but honestly, it's
Oh,
been a
that's what
long
it is.
it's been a long time since that's been an issue. They pretty much have some companies that do most of that work now.
That ice cream.
Here you go. Here you go. David Pasternak.
There you
Even
go.
an old school Bees jersey and everything.
Yeah. Third jersey.
Jack Eichel.
Oh God, that kid is something else.
Thomas Hartley. So this is the I think this is the Heritage version. So it's one of the retro version or whatever. And then Zach Werenski. The only problem with having so few cards is that if you get an all base pack, it's a little disappointing. It's not like we got much. We don't have that many cards to get something in there. So it's next one here. Do you see a lot of families, or are you more single attendees? Mostly single attendees, but I did see families, definitely. There were some kids for sure. It's interesting. Like I said, the whole pricing thing is part of what I've been trying to keep track of. It's tricky because yes, there are definitely affordable cards all over the place. There are value boxes. There are various things which make it available. So for collectors, there's still opportunity and things that you can get and pick up. So that shouldn't be an issue. But there's a lot of high-end, really expensive stuff and stuff that's priced is like, yeah, I wouldn't pay that. It's neat, but I wouldn't pay that. And there's a lot of that kind of thing as well. Matthew Chuck. Got that. Ty Delandria. Star Sweet Selections. There you go. And then this one, another one of these neon yellow surge, and this is Arthur Kyliev. That name ring a bell at all?
Not the top there.
Yeah, so that's from LA Kings.
Yeah, looks like he's wearing the old retro jerseys and uniforms there.
Yeah, and then we got Igor Sharangovich from Jersey.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about him either.
I'm just pleased I was able to get through all those syllables in one shot. That's
You know,
really all I'm shooting for there.
with all, and listen, you know, this isn't about politics. It's just something I've realized that all these sports from across the world are banning Russian athletes for participating. And the NHL has, I would say probably, other than the KHL, probably has the most Russian athletes in a major sport. And it's one of its biggest stars, obviously, Ovechkin, who kind of supports Putin. If the NHL takes that stance at some point, it's going to destroy the league.
Yeah, they would lose a lot of quality players. That's always kind of their big problem.
These Russians are dominant in the NHL and are putting butts in seats. They can't follow that trend, you know. And you know, people have different feelings about the whole thing. I don't think you can blame an individual for what their country does.
Well, I think I'll be honest with you. If I was going to just render an opinion from the NHL's history, they will ignore it as long as they humanly possibly can. They'll be like, "We're not going to talk about that. Let us not speak of that."
Right, and you and I know what you're referring to, and yeah, they like to bury their heads in the sand.
They would rather say nothing. Let us say nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. She'll see the hell out of that.
Yep. Just saying. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, the
For
rest
future
of the
breaks, you
world
need a crop
banning
top.
these athletes, and the NHL's promoting the hell out of them.
That's true. For future breaks, you need a crop top with sound effects? I think not. I will pass. Yeah, Sharangovich, listen. I just be pleased that I didn't even bother with the last name. I could have. So Alex Petrangelo, get that one. So that's the last pack here. Mark Scheifele, and that's the rainbow. Mark Scheifele. There we go. And Shea Weber, another one of the neon yellow surge for last pack. And Brendan Gallagher is the last card. Nothing too crazy, but hey, look, for basically the toss-in blaster to make the deal work, no complaints. Can't argue too much. That's all right. I like to put these aside, and I did like getting the Jason Robertson. That's nice. I'll just put that aside with the Dallas Star card, so that's cool with me.
I think that's a good looking card. I like the sun in the back. Yeah. I don't believe that any hockey card should have a tree in it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, the sun is pretty cool.
It's made of trees.
Yeah, I don't think so anymore. It's supposed to be out of plastic. But
true enough.
But you remember, back in the '90s, they tried doing all these different. Now, obviously, I only know about the hockey cards. They may have done it with other sports too. They just had these ridiculous pictures of guys on the beach rollerblading or golfing, or and then you had Olaf Kolzig.
Oh, that was the NHLPA card. Those are the NHLPA ones, yeah.
I mean, just ridiculous stuff, and just horrible. And it's like that's what I think of when you show me a card with a palm tree in the back. Is what? Why?
There was a lot of talk about that hot dog card with I forget who it was.
Olaf Kolzig.
Yeah, and a lot of that was going around. It was kind of interesting. It was like, oh yeah, I got to get that card. It's like, all right.
Yeah, but at least that was in regular Pinnacle, and they were just picking some interesting shots. Most of the cards were straightforward. That just happened to be one where they found a candid shot, kind of a fun little look.
Yeah.
It's not a crime for hockey.
At least that was at a hockey game.
Yeah, but it's not a crime for the cards to occasionally have some fun pictures. It's not the worst. It's not the worst thing in the world. Have some fun once in a while. Who cares? By the way, Topps does this with their short print because they'll have image variations. Upper Deck could do the same thing. Just grab some candid shots during the game. Maybe somebody during the warm up screwing around, having a little fun or something with a fan or something. Like, you can do that. Why not? Promote the fact that sometimes people have some fun. Heaven forbid, it's a game. Have a good time.
You've known me long enough. I don't believe in fun.
True. You do loathe fun. That is a fact. So Jeff here. Good evening. Longtime silent listener here. All good. I'm wondering if you're seeing more 90s and early 2000s inserts and parallels and display cases compared to what you see pre-COVID. I've seen some tables where they have taken some time for it, definitely. I saw some 90s Jordans. I actually saw on some tables. I was walking around a little bit. I did see some people sprinkle some of that in there. I do see some folks that have thrown some of that in there. I saw one table that had a couple of Peter Forsberg 90s cards, including a Z Gold, which I've mentioned before. The Z Golds are tricky. So that's a quality card, a tough one for a Forsberg fan. It's a great one. It'd be a tough one to come by because they don't come around all the time. I have no idea what their price point was on it, but I did think it was neat that somebody actually had the Z Gold in the showcase. So I definitely seen some for sure.
Yeah, actually, we see them, but by default, we have to understand that most of those were in 500 count boxes sitting on somebody's table. So now they're being pulled out and actually put on because they have a little more value or garner a little more value for sure.
Yep. Is this not national teams being banned, not individuals? For the other sports, I'm not sure.
I think mostly national teams, yes. But I also, if memory serves, there's been a couple of situations where individuals, such as tennis players, have been disinvited to tournaments. And I think there might have been a couple of other cases where individuals were disinvited to other sports. But it has been mostly national teams. But yeah, and it's a tough call. I mean, I see both sides of that coin real easy. You want to send a message. You want to get the Russian people to kind of turn against their leaders and be like, hey, but these guys in the NHL, they've lived in either Canada or the United States for the last umpteen years, and model citizens. I mean, and I just hate for them to be punished for something they have nothing to do with.
I think you have to kind of play by your own. A lot of that stuff. It's one of those things you have to be practical. I understand in this case why the league would be very hesitant, because there are a lot of Russian players that are very high profile in the league, and as long as they're not going out there like basically campaigning politically day to day, it's like, okay, look, as long as you shut the hell up and just live your life, like out of sight, out of mind, a lot of this stuff, just go play hockey and be quiet otherwise, and we can move on with our day.
And everyone except for Ovechkin has done that. Ovechkin. Yeah. You can find video and comments of him being supportive of Putin, saying, well, he's my president.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't say that right now.
Yeah. And like I said, Paul here mentions it. He took a bunch of heat when he played Edmonton, big Ukrainian community. I can imagine them. I understand. I get it. Bloodline cards too. Yes. David the Cup, Phil Kessel, hot dog, high dollar card. Yep. Eric and Hun. How'd he be grumpy then? Facts. Autograph guest notes or thoughts. I'll talk about that in 1 second here. Eric puts the in fun. True.
That is correct. The favorite thing that's ever been said to me about my attitude is that I am the human rain delay.
I get it.
I love it. I think that's the funniest thing anyone's ever said to me regarding my attitude. They're like, you are the human rain delay.
Oh, Tim had some good ones, but I mean, yeah, that one's pretty good too.
Yeah, but my mother's listening.
Well, yeah. The other ones that get said about it might be a little inappropriate.
Yeah,
we might not be able to repeat those. So, but I think for the ones we can repeat, that's fair.
Tim says.
For the ones we can repeat, those are fair. For ones we can repeat, that's a decent one.
Yeah, I'm the human rain delay. That's one of the funniest things anyone's ever said to me.
Oh, getting back to what you guys were at the beginning of the show talking about with Jeremy, you know, he actually had COVID a few weeks ago, but actually ended up with the flu, so he couldn't make the show. Like, you have to be pretty darn sick. But if you're sick at the show, then that's a bad impression, because I seen a lot of people coughing a little bit too much, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Right. So since you brought it up, I was telling Carlos before the show that I jumped into a clubhouse room just as he was halfway through explaining how he wasn't able to come and how bummed out he was. Oh. But I never, as I listened, it never went back around to explain. And so I was asking Carlos if he knew anything or heard anything. I was going to ask you later.
Yeah.
There's nothing on his Instagram saying I'm sick, I couldn't go, but he was very bummed out, you know, listening to him that he couldn't make it. But you just told me why I didn't know. I assumed it was COVID, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he already had it. So I think the next step was just a cold or a flu, actually. A cold doesn't really stop you. A flu would probably put you back a day or two. So
right,
didn't come.
Yeah. All I knew, and that was the only thing I gave to Eric, is that I knew I hadn't seen him. So I was like, as far as I know. Now, what's interesting then, I don't know the answer to this. I assume someone still was able to keep the organization for the Thursday dinner, because as far as I know, they still had it. So I guess somebody else.
Oh, that's a great thing. That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah, I know they still did it. So okay. I guess maybe the reservation was still in place, and I guess he just didn't show up, but everybody else did. Maybe that was the deal, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was paying or anything, you know. So I mean, he just basically just put a room so anyone could go. Like, I mean, I did in November.
Yeah.
You know, I was hoping he was going to pay. And nice. I gave him grief for it. I go, you invite everybody, you know, I thought you were going to pay for everything.
And the thanks has to go to Brad, because I finally got my gum.
Oh, yes, good.
On the back shelf. There it is. Now it's going on the top shelf here.
Nice. Okay. So let me ask this question here. I don't have too much to add. Autograph guest notes or thoughts. I actually have a little coupon to get $75, but honestly, it just nothing really particularly caught my eye that I would want to use it for. Because Yager's a little too expensive. Even with the 75 off, I'd still be having to spring about another 75, 80 for it. And I'm like, no, I really don't want that. Not that interested. The other ones don't really catch my eye, personally.
I meant to go through it again and see if there was anything that interests me and ask you guys if anything jumped out, but I forgot to look.
Well, you still have time for the Saturday or Sunday thing. You have anything? Pass it along. Because we can always look at it. It's not a big deal. Because like I said, I have the $75 off. So it is possible under the right circumstances. I can ask people. I have people. I can always get something arranged. But it's like, as long as I don't have to stand in line for it, sure.
Yeah, right.
$75 off with a minimum purchase of what?
No, it's $75 off.
Really?
That's it. It's like it's an open $75 off towards an autographed guest or something at that merchandise.
Okay, so if the guest is signing for 40, you get 35 back from?
Probably not. It's probably a one-time use.
35.
That's usually how it works.
Plus $10 back.
What I would probably in that scenario, probably they would not let you use it. But what you could do is you could use the other 35 towards buying something there to have them sign, and then you get the item for free and you get the signature.
I know Don Ori's
up there
signing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like if say it's 40, and let's say the 8x10s are 20. You're gonna lose. You lose a couple bucks, but you bought the 8x20, and then here's the autograph, and you're done. Great, it's all covered.
Yeah,
that would be probably the way it would go.
How did you get that?
It was part of the gold VIP.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it was inside of the eBay bag. So that was when on that first video, my recommendation was if you come down and you get into the VIP, open the freaking bag right on the first day, scan through, see what's in there. That's why I said I grabbed this. Is this a big deal? No, but it was free. I was entitled to it because I had the little coupon for it. Get it.
Get it off the screen. Get it off the screen. That, or at least take your finger and
I
cover
can
the.
read. I can read. You know, let me read. Let me read through some of here for you, Eric.
What is in there?
Just like a little mini price guide because this is their vintage version. This is the one that focuses
That
specifically on
company that
vintage.
begins with B for bad.
Yeah. Listen,
Oh.
don't be knocking Josh Gibson. Do you have a problem with Josh Gibson?
No, I have a problem with that word up in the upper left-hand part of the page.
Burrell?
No, those books I have prominently displayed right next to me.
I sold one book at the show.
How much
Did you?
All right, how much did you sell it for?
I brought one book to the show anyway, so.
Which one? Playboy?
No, the only, VHC, no.
All right, how much did you sell it for?
$60.
A Canadian.
Yeah. So
That's like
23.
$10. That's like $10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to give a kidney.
Yeah,
Deservedly
and
so. So your kidney's worth about what, $60?
$10.
plus a $10 rebate.
Yeah.
True. Facts. Yeah. I think it's about right. Yeah. I just figured I would get an
Well, the
updated
best
copy
money
since
I
I
ever
had one a couple
spent,
years ago. So let me read a couple of these. So outside of that, Friedman, I don't have any other thoughts on the autograph guest. Unfortunately, like I'd like to say more about it, but there's some years where I think the autograph guests are. I'll tell you what I miss a little bit from the old expos. I like when the Ferguson Jenkins Foundation would come in and bring a couple of folks because
Baseball
honestly,
guys.
I'm a baseball guy and I would love to have like that Raleigh Fingers one that I've got in my room normally. That was from the Ferguson Jenkins thing. I got a Louis Tion. My dad actually knew a little bit about Louis Tion. Even though he's not a big baseball guy, he knew Louis Tion of all the names that he knew. That I got a kick out of that. And I was able to get his autograph very cheap. And I just thought it was kind of neat. I showed it to him, and he got a kick out of it. So that was kind of a fun one. But there's some other
He's
folks.
still beloved here, Louis Tian.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he was a great player. He was a great player. It's one of those like, it's fun. And when it's a nominal fee, like nothing crazy, like yeah, great. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So we can scroll through here a little bit. What is an example of something Bobby's looking for at the expo? We talked about this a little bit thematically, but a lot of display stuff. Anything out of categories? If we just say categories.
Well, realistically, I'm at the show to really discover anything that I haven't seen before. So that would be my first inkling. Some things I can't afford to purchase, like if it's a display box from maybe the 50s and somebody wants $12,000, and that's empty box. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I'm looking for. And then we get into more of the food issue and merchandise. The unusual stuff, the stuff that you usually don't get. A lot of the stuff that was manufactured in the United States, you wouldn't have many opportunities in Canada to have. So it's nice when some dealers come up from the US and they bring items that you haven't really seen. And it's a nice chance because some of those items with shipping is, it's a $40 item and then you add $27 shipping. And then you add that international shipping program thing. And then you're, $80 on a $40 item. It's, so it's when it's there, it's kind of right there and you just take it and go. It's nice. Did I find a few things? Yeah, I found a few nice things.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But that covers that category. Now, I don't have as much visibility as I normally do. I can see, though, that we've got a decent amount of folks that are watching tonight. So thank you for hanging out. I appreciate the comments and thoughts and everything. I wanted to
It
at
is
least do
Friday
something.
night.
It is, but it's also kind of like I had to start a little later because of impromptu. I mentioned to Eric, we were trying to figure out where to eat. And we ended up eating at the Keg, which, by the way, I don't recommend. It took too damn long. Took forever.
Did you
But
have
the
to wait
thing-
in line?
No. We were able to get in pretty quick for that
Oh,
part,
good.
but the rest took forever. Because by the time we were done, I was starting later. Got back. But the thing is, the Keg is literally across the street from my hotel. So the good
Oh, you're
news
in
is
that
once
one,
we
yeah.
were done, I was able to literally walk over. It's like great. Let me grab my stuff and I can cart right over. That was the good news. But it took forever. But I was going to say I don't have as much visibility as normal, but I know there's enough of you. I only ask once or twice per episode. If you could hit the like button, that is always appreciated, and it is free.
Yeah.
And we get to make fun of Eric. Hit the like button if you like making fun of Eric. At the bare minimum,
Subscribe
you should
if
do
you
that.
really
Oh,
like making fun of Eric.
Where do
I
I
know.
hit? Oh, I don't have a like button. I'm not on YouTube. I'm on.
See, you should get on YouTube and hit the like button just for you people disliking Eric. You should hit the button.
All right,
Eric's
I'll,
mom also hit the like button for making fun of Eric.
Open another window.
Oh, my mother hit that 5 times already. If
As
it's
she
about-
should.
If it's about making fun of me, she's hit it 5 times.
Yeah, does Eric's mom called him meathead like Edith Bunker did? She probably called him more than that. I'll read this one real quick here. Joe, good evening. Scored a PSA 10, 2022 Prism WWE Bret Hart autograph, Mojo number 25, an auction earlier this week. Raw sold for 308, and the 10 got 380. How can you comp a Pop 1 that sold for not enough is 380 the comp? So the short answer, and I actually had a similar issue, not exactly like this, but a similar issue to this a while back. 380 is the comp. However, since it is a Pop 1, under the right circumstances, you would probably be able to find people that would comfortably pay more. So it's one of those things like, yes, it's the comp, but it is a Pop 1. So if the right buyer comes around, you would get more. The example that I give is when PWCC did its first auction. I was able to get a Juan Soto, orange shimmer card out of 25. It sold for way less than it should have. I honestly could have just turned around and flipped it immediately for multiples of what I paid for it because people hadn't figured out the platform yet. So it actually suppressed the normal bidding that would have been available had it been done. So technically, what is the comp? What I paid. However, if I go then and put it up again, it would sell for more. So what happened? Well, you got to put it in the right market. It's the arbitrage, right? You bought it in a spot where less people were catching it. Wrong time, wrong place. Maybe the listing was set up wrong. It happens. And then you are able to put it in a place where it's more visible and you get more for it. So the comp is 380, yes. But then if you put it in the right place in front of the right person, they probably pay you more than that comfortably. And your example shows that. If a 308 is sold for raw and a PSA 10 sold for 380, well, then you have a nice discrepancy that under the right circumstances, you would do better. But the comp, for the sake of the question, the comp is the 380 until the next time somebody puts it up and sale in the right place at the right time. Did you see the Beckett Mass Hole Edition magnetic holders? Dude, it was incredible. It was incredible. Is it only hockey players signing? I think there was something else, wasn't there? At least one or two?
I have it up in front of me.
They have some Blue Jays, I think, no?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
I thought so. Yeah, not the
There's
FU
no
in fun.
magazine this year, so we don't, you kind of miss that physical, tangible thing,
Well, you know what was a thing that would have been really useful with the magazine, and it was when I was talking to Josh and Aaron earlier on. They were actually trying to find one of the booths, and because the signage wasn't right, we weren't set up. However, even though they knew what the booth was, they didn't have the floor plan. So what I did actually is I forwarded him over the files that you sent me with the floor plan. I go, here you go. This will help you so you can orient yourself. But it's like, digital or not, but you got to make the floor plan available. That would be a recommendation I would give. It's like you gotta make it easier to get the floor plan to everybody.
Yeah.
A hard copy would be better. Like it makes everybody's life easier. They can just look at it and walk over to wherever they need to go, and here you go. You're fine. No, you got to set it up.
That's what it goes.
So here's a good question. What is the coolest random thing that you've seen at the show? The coolest random thing. I got to think about this one. You're a little bit more esoteric, Bobby. Is there anything interesting, even if it wasn't something for you necessarily? Is there anything interesting you saw that caught your eye?
At this show, I would say, I didn't see anything really unique. There was actually one gentleman set up who has, he actually wrote the trading card index back in the 80s.
Okay.
Now, I've been looking for that book because I collect all trading guides, price guides that are Canadian. And he did this guy, and he's the guy who wrote it. And I seen his table, and I saw some great stuff, great non-sports stuff. So you've seen old potato chip bags from the 60s with the coins advertising, the airplanes or dogs, whatever. So he had some really great, interesting stuff that you just never see. For some reason, the Canadian non-sports is almost non-existent. And especially the vintage part. So he had a lot of the great stuff from the 20s up. And I'm just rhyming them off with him. And we're just back and forth. We're just, because, second to hockey, I'm very good at non-sports and Canadian non-sports and pre-war too. So, it was kind of nice having the same guy because you can't have the conversation with very many people. So that was sort of refreshing for me, I'd say. So that's what I saw. I saw a lot of unique and different items that I've never seen before. And also a lot of things that I haven't seen in a long, long time.
I think for me, I was taking advantage of the opportunity to look a little bit at some of the non-sports stuff. I was trying to track it. Originally, mostly because I wanted to gauge how much of the Marvel stuff would be out there compared to like a Dallas. So I was trying to do like a little mini survey. I was curious about that. I did see some and all, and that was part of it. But the other thing that caught my eye a little bit is I was checking out a lot of folks with different pop culture stuff. I saw like a full set of Batman 66, which is just a neat looking little set and everything. Nothing crazy, but I thought it was neat. I've seen it before, but it's one of those things that from time to time you'll see more of it. and that's kind of interesting. That's always kind of a different twist on it. And that's the kind of thing where I thought was interesting, but at the same time, I think a lot of it though was because I had my antenna up a little bit more. So I feel like that stuff would be there normally, but I just was keeping an eye out it more because I was keeping that little mini survey for the reason that I was talking about comparing it to a Dallas or anything else. Otherwise, you see a lot of those same kind of memorabilia, maybe different combinations, because certain folks will have certain types of things that they specialize in. I don't think anybody went too far off the deep end, though. I didn't see anything super crazy. I mentioned to Eric, one thing I did see is that one of the dealers that has a lot of wax had a lot of the defunct football league stuff from a couple of years ago. So they had the Alliance of American Football, the AAF, which I got a kick out of. I might try to talk them down on their prices. I kind of want this because I actually like that league. I thought it was funny. They also had the XFL cards, the second iteration, not the first one. But I was like, you know what? Like, can I do a package deal? Get one of the XFL and one of the AAF just because I'd get a kick out of that. Those ones, though, I'd open. Those ones I'd open just because it's silly. So, DR, what about Bobby Hall tomorrow for an autograph? The thing is, I got a Bobby Hall autograph. I haven't offered it to Eric if he wants to do a deal with me. Like, I offered him like a big one on a nice lithograph. I like Bobby Hall, but I just don't need his autograph or anything.
Yeah, and again, listen, legend of the game. He signed a million things. And he'll do it till the second he takes his last breath. His signature is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's very, very shaky, and
Yeah,
he does it
sure.
It takes him quite a long time to sign something, and the longer he signs, the worse it gets. He is not in great shape.
Yeah, I agree. Now, actually, I just thought of something. When you were mentioning that, I just thought of something. I saw a booth that had a lot of Leaf stuff in terms of a lot of the Leaf pop culture stuff and all kinds of stuff in terms of that. On that booth, they had, I guess it was like this Expo box set that they came out with where you had autographs inside of every package, every box or whatever. But they had a bunch of random wrestling combinations, and there was a Ric Flair and Hogan. So they had a Flair and Hogan, which obviously as a combination makes a lot of sense. It's kind of interesting. But it was obviously they're using their stickers, so they have a bunch of them. So it was interesting. It was just kind of interesting. It was kind of random. I was like, I'm almost curious what you would be asking for this, but it's Leaf, so it's always a little bit. Literally, you could slap the sticker on anything. Like you could put the Hogan autograph sticker on a ham sandwich. You've got enough of them, so like you may as well. There's a free one for you, Brian Gray. You can have a petrified ham sandwich and stick a Hogan autograph on it. Live the dream. Live the dream, bud. Live the dream, bud. That's a freebie on me. Bobby, how much stuff that you buy do you collect versus that you rent for research purposes and resell later? So like on a percentage basis.
I would say 70-30.
Yeah.
I need high-res scans of everything. Relying on some people for those scans is not always appropriate. And a lot of people don't even have scanners. So when they're taking snapshots with the iPhones, there's always shadows, and I have to straighten it out, and you lose context a little bit. So I take them home, I scan them, I sell it to friends, trade it to other people, or just keep the item. And then I got a lot of extra stuff here that some things you just don't sell because it's just something else you put in a box. So
Yeah.
70-30, I would say.
Sounds good.
Because you can't keep everything.
No, that's true. I agree with that. It's probably too long to cook the turkey legs. Yes, facts. And then Bob here, hit the like button if you think Eric is a jabroni. Come on, guys. Like that right there is an appeal to facts.
Where the hell my sign?
Total jabroni.
Total jabroni. Like, come on, guys. This is we're speaking hashtag facts here. Show some love, show some respect there. For goodness sake. There you go. Mark Lattimore here. People are getting destroyed on eBay auctions. Collectors can get a ton of cards for cheap. Started selling and hoarding cash in November. I think that's fair. And here's the funny thing. Last show, I bought more cards on eBay during the show than I bought at the show. So in between days, I would go on and scan eBay. That's why I always joke about coming in later. I would grab my iced coffee, sit down, have my breakfast sandwich, and while I'm doing it, I'm scanning eBay for lots of things, and I'd be buying stuff. Some of my best purchases from the last show were on eBay while I was in between days at the show. This time around, I haven't seen too much stuff that interests me on eBay recently, although I have been doing pretty well previously. So some of that stuff is probably ready to come in soon. So we'll see. Any Laundry League? No Laundry League, but I definitely saw Playboy cards. I saw the old bench warmers, lots of those. And I think Grizzly Sports Cards has a lot of miscellaneous stuff in that category. Same vein, same category. So there's a lot of that.
All
That's
right,
fair.
so I found two things. If
Two
you
things.
guys could, I'll pay whatever it is you need me to pay. But if you guys could go and find,
Beckett, go on.
no, not Beckett, Frank Mahovlich, 6970, and Rod Sealing, 6970, and get those autographed, that would be awesome.
Well, Frank.
Sure.
So both those guys are signing, right? So Frank, I remember. Frank, I remember for sure. Yeah.
Yes. If you can find these cards, I mean, Tops would be the best because that's what I collect. But O-Pee-Chee, I don't care. I'm sure you could get them super cheap. They can be banged up a little bit, and if you can somehow get those signed, great. If not, no problem.
My headphones aren't working. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't understand what you probably do understand what he's doing. He's being an ass.
Oh, we don't need Bob for that.
Yeah.
Hashtag bougie jabroni. Love it.
For
Paul,
Johnny.
I got plenty of paper and plenty of ink.
There you go. I was still
Well-
like to watch people lose money opening Prism in here. Now you missed out, man. O-Pee-Chee Platinum. We had that in there. Mind you, I didn't lose money. It was a toss in as part of a deal. So I basically got it for what I would have paid for it anyway. So I figured, look, whatever I get out of it is bonus. Can't complain about that. Here you go.
Go ahead. We got a couple stories and stuff. Our Thursday night, a little bit there.
Yeah.
Plus, I have a picture from the Expo that I kind of forgot that I could have mentioned in the great things that you saw at the Expo, and a very funny Expo picture as well.
All right. Well, if you want to share them, I'll read these last couple of comments and we're caught up here.
Let's do that.
So get them. Yeah, this is a good one here. Get the signatures that Eric's asking for and get them BGS slabbed. That feels like the proper thing to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the way. No, what I would probably do is I'd probably get the cards, get MNT to grade them on site, find somebody to fund that for science, and get them to sign the outside of the MNT lab.
Oh Jesus.
Just the outside of the slab.
Oh good.
And
Lord,
have
that'd be
BGS
horrible.
certify all of them.
And be BGS certified the whole damn thing. Yes, agreed.
That would be horrible.
That's the way. Yep. Get those Ottinger parallels. I'm actually probably gonna I'm probably gonna see if I can grab a nice Ottinger. I would actually. I was having a chat with that at dinner today, and one of the things I was talking about is like, look, I don't really collect goalies. It's not really my thing. But I thought Ottinger, like I said, I'm not watching all the playoffs. I'm not gonna lie about that. But I was watching the Stars games, and Ottinger played like he played way over his head. He did everything he could to make that competitive when they should have been blown out of the building. They should have been swept in 4, and they got to game 7 where they had no business being there because the goaltender was completely playing insane. Now, is that a guarantee that down the road he's going to be able to do that again? No, but his prices also haven't exploded. So it's one of those things where a lot of his stuff is still reasonably priced. If they have a good goaltender for the long run, that'd be kind of fun. A good goaltender is a good foundation to having a competitive team down the road, and they do have talented young guys. So we'll have to see. Who knows? Be kind of fun. Yeah, Bougie Roni Jabroni. Man, just expanding. It's growing. It's growing. I like that. Yeah. So go ahead. You want to share a couple of stories, Bobby?
Well, I guess I'll start at the beginning because we did go out for dinner. Actually, it was booked for 7. We actually ended up with 4 because somebody forgot it was. I thought it was Saturday night, not Thursday.
That's right. Yeah.
And then Brad couldn't come, and then was it one more? Who else?
I was seeing if Steve wanted to come by, but he ended up going to the Jack Astor one.
Oh, he went to the Jack.
Yeah, I asked him, but it was like at the last minute. But I wanted to see if he wanted to come by. Yep.
Yeah. So that Chop closes at so we're sitting around having a couple of having fun, eating, enjoying, and Clouts and Chara, a large breaking company and what have you, they have like a whole row of booths, do they not? They have like 10 booths maybe.
Yeah, they got basically the better part of a segment there of an hour.
A whole segment there.
Yeah.
So a lion's share of their employees are eating right across from us, and they're having fun, and we're having fun. We're doing all the kind of talking. The place closes at 10, so by 11 o'clock we're still talking and enjoying. They're letting us. They didn't kick us out or anything, right? So
Yeah.
we were just kind of sitting there. So it's almost what? Sorry, it closed at 11. So
It was
12.
11. Yeah, it was 11.
yeah, it closed at 10, so 11 o'clock. So we're sitting there, and we were almost kind of just ready to go. And Clubs and Char is getting up ready to go, and I'm sitting there going, guys, wait, let them go first. Let them go first. So then they all start walking by, and I go, lightweights at Clubs and Char. Look at these guys. Us guys at Sports Card World beat you guys. Get out of here. And it's so funny, So I was razzing them the next day about that, So, anyways, we got Close and Char.
The important thing is always to have the setup. You gotta have the thing to lord over them. That's always critical. That's key. Very important. Extremely important.
They won't live that down. Now I have to share my screen here, so
if you can share your screen, I think we're okay because it'll be on the same screen here. So I think we should be.
Yeah. It's on StreamYard, so we're good.
So I think Eric wants you to buy 2 cards, get them autograph, grade them at KSA, then M&T, then ship them off to Brad for a triple slab. Triple slab.
Triple slabbed. Because from what I understand, PSA Canada is slabbing on site and authenticating.
that is the allegation per the materials.
All of you who will be at the show, please go to PSA Canada's booth and ask for authentication services and slabbed on-site services. Tell Brad Eric sent you.
Nice. Well, joke's on them. Like, Baz was in the right idea, but the thing is, I already know BGS has gigantic slabs, so we could probably put that in a BGS slab and have a quadruple slab, which will still be oversized.
We have shown
despite the triple slabbing, it'll still be oversized. So Frank, good evening. I think I saw that Frank was around a little bit at the show, and I think he also went to the Jays game. So hopefully you had fun. I haven't been to a Jays game in a while, and I probably won't go back for some. I'm bored of the Dome. I just can't do it anymore. Like, it's too much of a pain in the ass. I'm like, I don't even enjoy watching the game at the Dome. I'm happy to watch a game, but I'm like, I don't want to watch it here. Not anymore.
I've been to enough games. I told this story before, but when I was there, back in the late 90s, I paid $3 Canadian to get a ticket and, had X amount of seats up from the first baseline and got to see Cal Ripken play.
Yep. Well, you want to know something funny?
I'm not a baseball fan. I knew that was a special thing. And, I can say that I got to see Cal Ripken Jr. play.
Yep. Well, you know what's funny is that in that era, late 90s, early 2000s, the Jays they had trouble filling in a lot of the seats. So what they would do is they had a thing called the Toronto Star Season Ticket Pass. And what would happen is you'd actually be able to buy the ticket pass. It was this little card that you could buy, and it was $81. And what happened is for $81, you would actually be able to get a ticket to any of the home games as long as they were available. They were always available. So you had to go in, I think, within about half an hour of the start of the game. You'd come and you present the card, and they would give you a ticket. So for $81, you basically had a ticket for $1 per game. And you could go to as many games as you wanted to, just present the card, and it was always available. They always had tickets. So you'd walk right in, hand the card, and for a couple of years, that's how I attended Jays games. I'd buy the pass for $81, and I'd go in, present the card, get the game, and go in and watch the game.
Nice.
Hard to beat. It was a great deal. Hard to beat it. You can watch as many or as few games as you want. Just buy the pass, and you're on. Have fun. RSP, not even close.
Are we at 6 hours yet?
Not quite. Then put it in a Pelican case. Look, I seriously kind of want to buy that Pelican case. I know the one guys that have it. It's like yes. And you know what? I'm gonna have a Pelican case and I'm gonna slap my sticker on it.
Oh, good.
Yes, branding. Love it.
Okay, I'll share my screen and we can get into this, or read that last one.
I haven't seen it yet, so I actually have to see the little icon. So share it whenever you want, and I can put it on the screen when I click on it. So I did got about 20 minutes ago. I just finished recording my day 2 video. Good stuff. I'll check it out. Sounds good. All right, so there we go. Now I can actually see you. So yep, once you got the thing you want on, I'll put it up. So yeah, that's good. Yeah. The funny thing is that I know is that a couple of the guys get worked up about the Pelican case thing. But what's going to be funny to me is that I actually have cards that I would put in the damn thing anyway. Like it's actually a decent carrying case, so it's like whatever. It serves a purpose, but it's gotten the connotation because of the kids that walk around with it. But it's just become very funny to me. So here we go. I got the thing there. Yep. So you got the packs there. That's nice.
Yeah, so towards the end of the day today, I went over to one booth and I realized that this guy had all these wrappers. Actually, they were packs, but they had been opened by the original owner, and he kept the cards in it. So you got a Keon rookie in the 61-2 there, Bobby Hull in the and in the 62.3. But these are some rare wrappers here. The 62s are tops are pretty crazy. The Parkers, the zip one, is that had the Keon in it.
Yeah, I
so-
recognize. Where have I seen that that wrapper before? That looks familiar.
Which one? The
Zip.
5. Yeah. See that it was
Where
the
have I
cover.
seen that?
That was the cover of my first book in 2003, which I asked Parkhurst for authorization to use it on the cover of my book. So, if you make something relatable, people will remember it. It's sort of like the baseball card kid. He had that Mickey Mantle looking swing with his head on it, from his rookie, not rookie, his 52 card. So you remember those things that are relative, right? So it has a point of reference at least. So that was a pretty crazy bit of wrappers that you just never see. Like the existence of the 61-2 wrapper, the yellow one here, there's maybe 4 or 5 in the whole hobby that have been found.
right.
The 62s are very tough. There's actually packs of these ones still around. I think back at the master auction, me and my friends, we bought a partial box of them. I think it was 23 of them or something like that. So those are around, but some of these CFL packs are extremely rare, and there's Topps baseball. What year would that be? That's O-Pee-Chee, actually. It says Topps, but it's an O-Pee-Chee pack. All these are Canadian. The bottom right corner there, Carlos.
Sorry, bottom right corner. The little green one.
I think it's an O-Pee-Chee wrapper. I don't think they have a similar to the Topps. But
I feel like I've seen it, but I couldn't pin the year off the top of my head.
it would be 60, early 60s, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
So the price also might help out narrow down the range. So if it's early 60s, 5-cent wrapper. Okay. I don't know.
5 cents is all pre 1969. So
Yeah.
What was this gentleman selling these at the show, or are they
he
just
was.
for
He had some
display, or
crazy, interesting prices.
such as it,
In the thousands per.
well, yeah, I assumed, yeah.
There are some interesting items that have been. This reminds me, real quick, of a separate item, and this will play right in your wheelhouse, Eric. I think you'll like this. One of the guys who was at the booth with Steve Corey, who collects a lot of different stuff, but one of the things he's working on is the 66 Topps test issue. So he's picking up some cards for the test issue. Now, obviously, there is a big card in that test issue.
Really?
Yeah, and he did come across it. PWCC actually had it. They had a PSA 6 Bobby Orr test issue.
No way.
Oh wow.
Oh, yes.
All right, so that's what.
Yeah, remind me, do me a favor, remind me, because I wasn't by there, but remind me, ping me, and I will take a picture of it for you. It's a really nice one. It's really nice.
It's got to be 100,000, right?
It's going to be that for the test issue. It's going to be nuts, and it's a 6 is still a pretty nice card for the test issue. It's rarity. It's going to be a pretty penny.
With the chipping that went on with this this year card and everything. Yeah.
That's a spicy meatball, as they say. That is a very spicy meatball. There's a lot going on with that one.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, the funny, right? Are we still screen sharing? Because I can't see.
Yeah, you're still on. Yep.
Okay, so in 1974, they came out with these decanters. They're actually about 14 inches tall, made of ceramic. You take off their head, and inside the head, you pour your spirits or whatever. And they came out with, I think it's 7 different teams. So what was really interesting about this is they're very hard to find. You don't see them very often. But there was some gentleman at the show, and we were looking over at him, and they had one of these on the table, and he was sitting behind it. And this is, and the picture's worth 1,000 words, and I'll show you exactly what it was. Here, just a second. I'm gonna have to open it up. Here we go.
That is a thing. Yes.
That is a most incredible thing. How can a thing made in 74 look like a thing made in probably 60 something?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
uncanny?
74. That guy's older than me.
Yeah, isn't that uncanny? Like the
weird.
looking.
Impressive.
Yeah. Well, it was the funniest thing at the show for me.
There you go. Listen, that qualifies. There is a story from the show. So let me read here. Ozzy Card Dad says, and finally, from our our multiple levels, BBC wrapped. Yes.
Oh.
A shoebox in a Pelican case. I know. Rock Latex here says baseball package from '62.
Okay.
So he opines 62.
Yeah, they were all in the 60, 61, 62 era. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Pretty rare stuff that doesn't show up very often. And
Yeah.
especially with cards in them. And the cards were minty. Like that, the Keon was amazing. Amazing. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
And the Bobby Hull was in the 62. 4 years after, but even still.
Okay. That's
Impressive
fair.
stuff.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think my plan Thursday was to spend my time chatting up with folks. Today, I got a chance to kind of work half the show, which is good. Going to work the other half of the show today. I was able to talk to Steve, and I'm going to try. I mentioned to Eric, one of my plans is to try to do. I think we're going to be able to do the time lapse. I'm going to fire up the camera there, point it down the hall, and then have a nice time lapse. I'll include it in the video. I recorded an intro for day 2, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it after the fact. I'll get whatever footage I can and then just explain what it is, and there it'll be. But I think the time lapse would be cool because his booth is busy.
Yeah.
So there's going to be enough people coming around and walking by that over a time lapse, you're going to actually you'll get a sense of what the traffic looks like. The time lapse will actually do a good job giving you a sense of people walking up and down the hallway. So that's going to be kind of fun. And then I'll see if I can walk around. And I'd like to take some more pictures of some stuff to tomorrow. That's kind of my goal. So in addition to looking for some stuff, I'd like to be a little bit more, all right, I got a chance to get the lay of the land. All right, let's walk around, chat with a few more folks, take some more pictures of some stuff going on, and include some of that.
Yep, that'll be good.
Yeah, so that's kind of the hope.
I wish I took more pictures of tables and items and things. I had time in my life in November, but I wish I could, I wish I took a few more pictures of some of the unbelievable things I saw.
I got more pictures of Tim if you want to see them.
I don't need any more pictures.
As long as he's got the big ass hat and all of them,
I have.
And
I have
actually,
enough.
did you see his little hat attached?
I was actually chatting with him earlier today.
Yeah.
I was having a chat with him, and yes, I did see
How
that.
apropos.
I thought it works. It works on levels. That's why I said that was part of the conversation I had with him. Where once we get a chance to chat back and forth a little bit again, I'll have him in because, like I said, by that point he may have something to announce. It'll be kind of interesting. Again, the advantage, the perk is of having the FaceTime to talk to some folks, chat a little bit, get caught up, but also see, hey, what's going on with you, what's happening, and you also get conversation where they'll be a lot more candid than they're ever going to be able to be in a recorded format. You get a chance to talk about a lot of little things. So it's always kind of interesting to get the lay of the land from them directly. So we'll see how that goes. Just make sure the label has cardboard lines so we know it's authentic. Facts. There you go. Yep. Good evening, Paul. Have a good one. Have fun with the rest of the show, and a good night to all. Absolutely, Paul. Thank you.
Later, Paul.
So I want to thank everybody for popping in. If you got any last comments or questions, throw them in. It's been a good little show. Like I said, it's a bit of impromptu. We started later, but I wanted to at least have something and chat about it. And at a peak, we had over 50 hanging out, so that was really good. So that was very impressive. Like I said, for the later start. For those of you who have been hanging out, if you are chatting in again, any last minute comments or anything, throw them in there. We'll go a minute or two and finish off a couple of things. And if you could hit the like button, I do appreciate it. I can't check with you until after the fact, but again, it's free. So do what you can. And Eric said Jabroni, we talked about this earlier. Hit the like button for that. Show some love. I know. And like I said, I'll have another video as far as the rest of the kind of the Expo experience. We'll have a little fun with Saturday, and then Sunday will be a little truncated, but I will still be around for a little bit of it. And then we'll call it another Expo until the fall, which will be the more conventional, and then we'll kind of see how that works out.
Perfect.
So let's take a look here. Yep, absolutely. Enjoy the show this weekend. Thank you very much, Baz. Appreciate that. How was the Expo today? You got to go back to the beginning. We talk about it. We talk about a lot of different things and talk about some stories along the way. So
It was stupid and it sucked, and that was that. It was stupid.
Yep. And we were there to experience that stupid.
And I'm still very upset that I'm not there.
Yes.
And Eric seethes with jealousy. Seethes.
Yeah. Oh, I am so green. I am this green. I am that green.
You can see he's dripping with disdain as he's saying it's stupid.
It's like it's stupid. I want to be there.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's so stupid.
It's like I could stare at the Bobby Orr test issue. Damn it.
Oh my god.
All day.
I just stand there for all 4 days and just stare there.
Yeah, I walked by it and I was going to record it, but I was looking at some stuff at that moment, but because you know how Upper Deck occasionally does the Upper Deck does the little giveaways and stuff, and they'll have people gather around, whatever. It's kind of the fun time because then you've got so many people just hanging around activity. It's like it's kind of a fun, good. I want to take a kind of like a picture of it or get a little video of it as a little angle. I'll see if they do another thing tomorrow. I'll probably do that just for a minute, just to check it out. But I do know they did some Expo giveaway stuff. I'm kind of curious what they have. The only unfortunate thing, I think I mentioned it, I might not have. Unfortunately, Billy Cilio, who I wanted to meet and chat with a little bit, unfortunately he had COVID, so he wasn't able to come over. So we weren't able to chat because he was at the AEW thing, and he even shared some pictures when we were chatting on the Instagram of him being at the show. And I was going to chat with him because I had brought some of the Upper Deck exclusive stuff from his AEW thing. I was going to show him a partial set that kind of I accidentally put together in purchasing some stuff. It would have been kind of funny considering he is a big fan because he took a bunch of pictures with AEW folks. But if you get a chance, check out Billy Cilio's Instagram. There is one photo though that is a particular favorite. I can't share it unfortunately here. I wanna show, but he's got one on his Instagram feed where he was at the booth of Upper Deck in Vegas for the AEW show, and there's a picture of Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti, so two wrestlers there. But you'll see them. Sorry, no, Britt Baker and Adam Cole. So they're there at the front. So initially you just see the picture of them. Okay, fine, whatever. But then if you slide, it's zoomed in. Billy's actually over in the corner, but you slide again, it zooms in a little more. You slide again, and it zooms in on him, just having like a face looking forward, but he's like kind of a creeper over in the corner, but he zooms in on it. As you go through the slide, it like focuses in on him over in the corner of the picture. Yeah. It's actually kind of funny.
That was hysterical.
Yeah, and I appreciated that he called out the fact he was over in the corner, just being the little creeper in the corner there. Yeah. But yeah, he was hanging out. He had fun because a lot of the AEW folks came by and had their little custom cards made, and that was part of the Upper Deck thing at that show. Kind of fun. So here we go. So Bob here says, "Hope your PT is going well, Eric." So Bob's showing you some love. Show us some love. Bob still loves you.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. It's it's a long process, but thank you very much.
So I would say, Francesco, it wasn't packed. It was good. There was steady flow during certain time periods. Some more than others. It was decent, comparable to other Fridays. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I thought it was a good mix. There was enough activity that some of the dealers were actually doing quite well and having some activity at their booths. But you could walk around, you could get around people, you could still maneuver. It wasn't too bad. Also, we were spaced out very well. I would say this hall was well situated to allow us to be able to move around, still do business. But if a dealer's booth had a bunch of people in front of it, you still had to kind of wait your turn. But outside of that, though, like for the most part, you were able to see almost everything you wanted to see, which is kind of what you hope for, what you ask for.
And you could get around them quite easily, even if there was a number of people standing in front of a booth, which is not always the case.
Correct. So I think the spacing between booths made it as such that you could still participate. Oh, I need to get down to the end of this hallway. No problem. You can maneuver. You've still got a path that you can work with. And even with people on booths on both sides, standing there looking, you can still get around them and then check out stuff. And that's all you ask for. You want them to have their activity, but you want to be able to move around.
Yep.
So make sure to do all the stuff they tell you to do at home. Really helps. There you go.
No, absolutely. I'm doing it. I'm even doing more. They're like, do it once a day and do 3 sets of 10. I'm like, yeah, I'll be doing that several times a day. Thanks.
There you go. Sounds good. So thank you to everybody who's been hanging around chatting with this one here. A little bit of an impromptu, but you knew I was going to try to at least get some kind of a live in. And the internet's held up well enough, so I can't ask for more. So that's been good. Regular schedule next week. Once. Go ahead.
You only froze once.
That's good. I'm happy. So next week we'll be back. We'll do 8 p.m. again. I think that's a good time. It works for everybody better. So we'll definitely do that. So here we go. Francisco, thanks for answering. I'll be there tomorrow. Good. If you see myself or Bobby, say hi. We'll be around. So feel free to say hi. And also thank you to those of you who were in the chat a little bit today who I did get a chance to see. Again, if you do see any of us, say hi. We've got time to be able to chat a little bit and say hello. So by all means, feel free. Because that's kind of the fun of the show right now. For the most part, I'll be looking for stuff here and there, but I'm not expecting too much. If I see something great, if not, whatever. It's
and for those that did drop by and say hi, thank you very much. Absolutely. You, Mr. B, you know who you are.
There you go. Beautiful. Sounds good. So I'll leave it on that note. Thanks to everybody hanging out. We'll have more videos coming up on the channel. Again, live stream will be back to more normal schedule next week. We'll do a little decompress, post Expo thing on the next one, and then we'll get the full picture of what everything looked like, and then we'll see. then we'll be well into summertime, and then we'll see what happens leading through the summer, where we're less than a month away from July the 1st and the zombie apocalypse. So we got to chronicle these events leading into the end of days.
It's all going to end.
So we got to make sure we got that footage set up. So it's coming.
All you got to do is go to that expo and compare even to November about how the cards don't cost as much.
Tell us the price tags. Tell us the price tags. I think they got the memo. They didn't get the memo. Whether they sell it or not is a different conversation, but the price tag hasn't come
They are
up yet.
going to have to pack their cars back up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll definitely, once we get the full breadth of it, we'll have a better sense of what's up. Anyway, so thanks everybody. Have yourselves a good one. We'll catch you in the next one.